Hey YouTube, Mark Kaufman here, and today I want to do a video on why we should buy, or why you should at least buy cheap knives. And I'm not saying buy garage store, or not garage knives, gasoline knives or anything like that. I'm saying buy knives that are like under 10, 15, maybe even under 30. You know, these cheaper knives that are reputable. There are a lot of knives out there that are not, but there are knives out there that are relatively great for the money. And the money doesn't really have to define the knife. What I mean by this is that cheaper knives can still be very good knives, like these that I have out here. Few I have not reviewed yet, but they will be reviewed soon. Now, first up is the Kershaw Asteroid, and this knife is fantastic. This knife here is $20, has a speed safe assist on it, and a tip down clip. That doesn't bother me as much, but it can bother some people. But what I want you to see is how strong of a kick this has. Really, really strong. It really snaps with authority, really gets in your face, and really does the job well. Now, personally, this is probably the way I would go if I had to spend my 20 bucks. Now, I will be doing a review on this knife, and just as we can see here in the video, that it really does fit the hand wonderfully. It really does fit the hand great. And the liner lock is a decent liner lock. We're running on Teflon washers, which doesn't bother me that much on a knife of this price, but I may attempt switching those out. But next up is the MTech button lock, and this actually was turned on to me by Big Red EDC MT1022, and this knife here is fantastic. For, I think I paid, I want to say 15, maybe even $13 for it, and this thing is fantastic. It's running on ball bearings. It's absolutely fantastic. And you can get this in, I think you can get this in orange, black, this gray. This is actually gray, but it looks more blue. And then you can get it in a blue. So this is the gray, and the action on it is just fantastic. It's a very well-rounded knife. It's very good. It's very, very smooth and really does the job well. Now, the reason why I bought this one was to save myself some money, and I wanted to see first off if I actually liked a button lock, if a button lock was actually for me or if it wasn't. And thanks to this knife, button locks really aren't my jam. So I'm probably not going to invest any more money in those, but I did pick up 2 of these because I had heard that their button locks can be a little hit or miss. So this one here, I'm happy with it. And if you're wondering if the bearings have metal bushings, no, they don't. They're housed in plastic. You kind of have to expect that at a price like this. But it is really a fantastic knife for the money. And this here is another reason why to go for the cheaper knives. This saved me a little bit of money. Instead of going for a more expensive button lock, I went with a cheaper one. And I have to say, for the money, this really does the job. Now, the steel, not so much, but you know, if you can really sense the difference between 8CR and what this is, which is, this is actually 3CR. If you can sense the difference on that, you are a expert metallurgist. I mean, really, you know your stuff. But for me, not so much. Now, the next one up, actually is a recent purchase of mine, and this is actually the Kershaw Amber, and you can see I've only had this probably a week or two, and you can see I have really been using this. This has been my box cutter, but this has their Speed Safe on it, and it really is a fantastic little knife. It has the titanium nitride coating on it. It is a Hinderer design, which I love, but the reason why I bought it is, and look at that, you got lint and junk in there. Yes, I have been using this, but I bought this because it's a frame lock, and it is fantastic. It really is a great little knife, and that frame lock really adds some strength, which, I mean, for a knife like this, you don't really need that much strength, but it's good to have it. Now, I was either going to go with the CRKT squid that was newly assisted, but I ended up going with this because I prefer Kershaw's Assist over other brands, and I really do trust Hinderer and his designs, and he really did a great job on this. You've got a great forward finger choil, you can do a really nice grip there, and then you can get your other three on here. But the thing that I love is that he put jimping back here, jimping up here, so when you have this in the hand, it really is locked in tight. And then you also have this here, this choil, not choil, but thumb rest here for those stronger cuts. Really is great, and I prefer it tipped down on this just because there's so much sticking out of the pocket. I don't want it to fall out of my pocket. Now this one here is about $25, and it is a fantastic blade for the money. If you're out there looking for a knife that's a little tiny but can do a lot of work, this is it. And this one actually has a 2-inch blade, which for me, I don't usually carry a knife that small, but this knife I've actually been wearing in my gym pants, so that has been fantastic. So that is the Kershaw Shard, and it is a really nice knife. Now the other knife, I've done a video on this one already, and this is the Gordon's Tactical knife. And I've been using this quite a bit. I've already sharpened it a few times. Haven't needed to touch up the serrations all that much, but it has really broken in really nicely. It's fantastic in the hand. You can see that I have put it back to tip down, which for me, I did that primarily because in this position, it was a real hot spot in my palm. And this here just goes in this little bend here in my hand, and it doesn't really cause any issues. But I've been really using the heck out of this. You can place your thumb up here. You got some really great jimping right here. Now I have upgraded these washers to bronze washers, so that does not come standard. But this thing has really broken in nicely, and I can even flick it quite effectively. So, and the thing that I really like about this is an $8 knife. You have 8CR13 MOV on this, G10 handles, stainless steel liners. They are not milled in any way, but they're fantastic. You have a pillar construction here, which means this is easy to clean out. And you have jimping back here, which helps a little bit when it's back here. You can really get some grip going back and forth, but it really is nice. And I think that for $8, this is a great buy, even if you pick it up and you don't upgrade it like I have. Now, my goal for this knife is actually to get it drop shutty, make sure it can drop shut, but I haven't really broken it in that much to get it to that point, but for $8, I don't think you could go wrong. So I really just wanted to make this video just to point out that cheaper knives are still fantastic knives, and they still have a lot to offer, and brands are out there that offer that allow you to buy a knife for under 10, under 20, and under 30 bucks that you can test out a make of knife like a button lock. Or if you want to get into a cheap Speed Safe, you can go here or here. And if you just need a workhorse that can be abused, used, and thrown away, you can go that route. So if you guys like this video, let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it if you did. And thank you guys again for viewing my stuff and viewing my videos and interacting with me here on YouTube. Till then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.